When an Israeli company wanted to build a new road from Matzah to Jerusalem, its managers probably thought the process would be straightforward. For one thing, it was thought that there were no significant historical sites in the area where the road was planned. The discovery, which was made just 3 miles outside of Jerusalem and was completely unanticipated, has the potential to fundamentally alter our understanding of ancient Israel. On the other hand, a survey of the land revealed something remarkable just inches below the surface. The awe grew as the excavation progressed, and the site's immense size became apparent. Experts were aware that there was a lot to learn and investigate because nothing like this had ever been found before. It's not the initial time something archaeologically critical has been tracked down in this piece of Israel close to the town of Matzah. However, it is the first of this size and significance. The professionals must now ensure that they learn everything they can about the location and preserve as much as possible while roadwork continues. Since 1948, Israel has existed as a state. However, the area has a long and rich history. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all asserted that Abraham, a man who lived in ancient Israel, was their ancestor. However, the former is thought to be spiritual because they consider the area to be a part of the Holy Land. A significant portion of its history is closely associated with those religions. Israel was a part of the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire for 2,000 years before becoming a part of a Muslim caliphate in the 7th century AD. In the medieval times, European Christians and Center Eastern Muslims fought for control of their consecrated locales in the conflicts known as the campaigns. However, Israel's more ancient history is difficult to comprehend. The Hebrew Bible is our primary source of information, but its accuracy has proven difficult to verify. In addition, the Christian Old Testament's Jewish Tanakh contains texts written hundreds of years after the events they describe. Advances in technology have been hoped to use to determine whether the Bible's events actually took place. For instance, disclosures made up until recently have proposed that the timetables portrayed in the sacred text have been off. In addition, the truth remains a mystery in many instances, particularly with regard to the oldest stories in the Bible. For instance, we are pretty sure that the Israelites didn't blow a trumpet and tear down a huge wall in Jericho. However, the question of whether King David ruled Israel's kingdom is a little more hazy. One ancient inscription talks about a Davidian house, but it's not clear if it has anything to do with the biblical character. Unearthings additionally recommend that any realm managed by David should be more modest than the Good Book claims, since there were no significant settlements nearby during the fitting time span. It's been proposed that David, on the off chance that he existed, was leader of a little and remote slope town, all in all a difference to the narratives of his strong realm. On the other hand, the fortifications that are still standing on the hill of cubic chaophraya suggest that the area may have been more developed than previously thought. The stronghold doesn't seem to have been there for extremely lengthy. However, it's even more than you'd anticipate in a little slope town. In the search for biblical answers, these new discoveries evidently seem to raise more questions. Archaeological evidence does not become a little more apparent until after the United Israel period. In the Hebrew Bible, Goliath, the Philistine city-states champion, defeated David. Despite Goliath's superior strength and size, the latter defeated Goliath with only a sling and a stone. Specialists who have been concentrating on the remaining parts of what is by all accounts whole accepts they might have a clarification for why Goliath was portrayed as a monster. Under more recent ruins that have already been explored, the excavations reveal a massive Iron Age settlement. Assuming that the more established city was such a great deal greater than others of the time, then, at that point, maybe it's a good idea that the Israelites saw its occupants as monsters. However, understanding Israel's history becomes even more difficult as one moves back in time. The absolute most seasoned human remaining parts in Israel originate before the Neolithic period and really come from the Paleolithic, during what is known as the Old Stone Age. They were tracked down in caves at Mount Carmel, somewhere in the range of 1929 and 1934, by English paleontologist Dorothy Garrett. Following these antiquated people were the Natufian of the Center Stone Age. In addition to Israel, this society also lived in what is now Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. They may have been among the first to eat plants that are edible and build permanent homes, which may have led to the development of agriculture later. But let's go back to modern Israel and look at the website of an Israeli company that was building a new highway as part of the Route 16 project. The objective was to construct a road from Matzah to Jerusalem's western side. A dig by the Antiquities Authority was paid for by the company. However, the outcome would surprise everyone. Historians and archaeologists held the belief for many years that this part of Israel was uninhabited during the Neolithic period. Instead, the remains of a massive 9,000-year-old settlement were discovered during excavations near the Matzah Junction. Jacob Barty, the site's co-director of excavations, told journalists that the site was a game-changer. He claimed that the city's size and population would have made it comparable to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem in ancient times, making it a legitimate metropolis. The construction of the city must have required meticulous planning due to its half-kilometer span. There is evidence to suggest that the city once housed as many as 3,000 people. There are public facilities and living spaces in and around large buildings, as well as locations where rituals may have once been performed, connected by alleyways. The city is brimming with antiquated gems, puppets, and apparatuses, as well as seeds and different relics. Elsewhere, the city has seen the discovery of thousands of items. Flint is used to make some of the tools, and a Bronze Age spearhead has also been found. Arrowheads, stone bracelets, and Anatolian obsidian beads are additional weapons. Naturally, this suggests that the civilization may have exchanged goods with other societies. Stone figurines may have been part of ceremonial burials in some of the city's tombs. 2 warriors were buried in a tomb that was 4,000 years old and contained a spear and dagger. Additionally, there was a donkey that had been buried right in front of the tomb, probably to accompany them into the afterlife. The worth of this uncovering is inconceivable. In fact, a dig of this magnitude and age at a site of this age may have never been done before in the Middle East. The issue is its early construction. The Neolithic period, which is the common name for the final part of the Stone Age, is when it was built, and as you might expect, it is known for its stone tools. The pyramids in Egypt, which are regarded as one of humanity's greatest ancient construction projects, are thousands of years older. Yet, it was additionally when farming was being laid out and the agrarian way of life was being supplanted by settled living. This shift occurred in various regions of the world at various times. Therefore, it is debatable when the Neolithic began, though it most likely did so around 10,000 BCE. The use of weaving in the production of pottery was one of the Neolithic's other innovations. The establishment of settled communities also led to conflict between various villages and towns. The Fertile Crescent, a region of the Middle East that was ideal for farming, was one of the first places to experience the Neolithic agricultural revolution. 2 Finns made the transition from hunter-gathering to settled living in one of the earliest Middle Eastern communities. Turkey and Syria have also been found to have Neolithic settlements, and the Stone Age ended with the beginning of the Bronze Age thanks to advances in metalworking. It's not the initial time in any case that the site known as Matzah has demonstrated a productive region for archaeologists. It is home to numerous grain silos and storage buildings from various eras. In 2012, additional road construction preparations led to the discovery of an ancient temple. During the reign of Judah, around 2750 years ago, telephone matzah would have been constructed. The way ancient people worshipped also changed when they moved away from hunting and settled life. They created more intricate religious rituals during this time, as well as statues and other ornaments, figurines, and pottery at telephone matzah, including chalices and bowls used in religious ceremonies. Experts believe that because it faced east, the telephone matzah would have had impressive entrances and huge walls. This would have allowed the rising sun to shine on the sacred objects, which was common in ancient temples in this region. Additionally, There was a courtyard in the center of the temple with what archaeologists believe to be an altar. During the time of telephone matzah, there is little evidence of ritualistic behavior in this region of Israel, which increases the temple's value. It is also interesting that it is so close to Jerusalem, because many temples would eventually be demolished and all religious ceremonies moved to Jerusalem. In the middle of the 18th century, a group of Jewish families bought the Colonia area from its Arab home and built the modern matzah there. It became the first agricultural colony of its kind, where a variety of rare fruits and vegetables were grown. The new city has forced experts to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about Middle Eastern Neolithic settlements. Vardy even alluded to the site as the enormous detonation with regards to its importance in ancient examination. The northern Levant, or the other side of the Jordan River, are the only other nearby Neolithic sites. Jericho, one of Israel's other ancient sites, was one of the first human settlements and dates back as much as 9,000 years. Although the majority of archaeologists have come to the conclusion that the Israelites did not destroy the walls of Jericho, this does not imply that there were no walls. Leave a comment below and tell us what you think. If you liked the video, give it thumbs up. As always, subscribe to our channel to see more great videos. Thanks for watching.